Oh, hey friends, Josh Yeager, Santa Barbara dog walker and Trust and Estates ninja, dressed in my cool all black ninja outfit. So watch out, because I'm dangerous. We're talking about subjects that I think are interesting, Trust and Estates matters. We're going to spend a little bit of time today thinking about the final takings clause. This is the conversation where the drafting attorney says, okay, imagine mom and dad are dead. All of your kids who are supposed to get your estate are dead. All of your kids' kids are dead. Who do you want to get what's left over? So mathematically, the likelihood of this happening is something approaching zero, but it needs to be addressed. A good drafting attorney will include a final takings clause. And having this conversation creates an unbelievable amount of consternation in the client because they've never thought through what should happen to their estate if Halley's Comet hits the Western Hemisphere and everyone they know is dead. And in my experience, asking this question, or this question, along with a few others, are the things that dramatically slow down the execution of the trust doc. The clients can answer who they want their successor trustee to be, or what do they want to have. Do the kids get the assets free of trust or in trust? Those are pretty easy to answer. It's what happens in this crazy unlikely event that all of the people that are close and dear to me are dead. And it delays the final drafting of the document and execution. Hey, Dodger, bud, we're going this way. It delays it by weeks or sometimes months. So here's a couple of observations, tips, and tricks. Number one, talking about Halley's Comet hitting the Western Hemisphere and having everyone that you love or care about dead is, it's a hard conversation for people. This whole estate planning process is a hard conversation because they have to deal with their mortality and expectations and what they wish their parents had done and all of that head baggage. So this is a particularly hard conversation, even though the likelihood of it happening is approaching zero. So let's have grace with them, with the client. Let's say, hey, we can take all the time you need. We can think about this. My encouragement, and to be a little bit transparent, sometimes I get frustrated with clients because they just spend a lot of time thinking about this and agonizing over it. And I've had to learn to be patient with them. Second, what I tell the clients is, hey, look, just answer for this week. This week, if Halley's Comet hit and everyone in your family was taken out, what would you want to have happen with your dough? And let's write it down. Let's have that be the answer. I don't want some to go to the Humane Society and some to go to my third cousin in Boise that I don't really know or like, and some to go to, the somebody I went to camp with or one of my friends. And don't feel like your answer right now has to be your answer forever, because I think that's one of the things that hangs them up. So encourage them just to answer for this year. What's the right answer for this year? And let's draft this in a way that's easy to change. Second, so take the weight off of it being a forever decision. Second, rather than writing the answers within the trust document itself, a drafting trick that I learned was, why don't we make the final takings clause an exhibit to the trust? So Exhibit X is the final takings clause. Go ahead and look at Exhibit X, and mom and dad can change that. It's easy for them to take out a yellow pad or scratch through items or call the attorney and just get that one page updated without doing a full amendment or restatement to the trust. Technically it is an amendment, but it can be drafted in a way that the trust references as an exhibit that references the final takings clause. That way, changes to the final takings clause can be easily done by mom and dad or ChatGPT or somebody. Next item, and that's not much different. Like there's precedent in that in trust documents. Most trust documents say, hey, all the personal property goes into the trust. All of dad's stamp collections and coin collections and guns and collectible cars and all of mom's jewelry and book collections and yadros and tchotchke go into the trust. But there may be a writing somewhere that mom has said, oh, I want the eldest daughter to get grandma's engagement ring. Or dad writes down, I want the boys to take the gun collection and divvy it up. Right? So we already have that process or approach in the trust document, creating an extrinsic document, an exhibit that reflects the settlor's instructions as to personal property. Why can't we do it for the final takings clause? That makes editing amendments, updating that easier, which puts the client at better ease at coming to an answer that's okay for this week. And if they want to change it in a couple of weeks, you give them the little Microsoft Word document to quickly change the percents, maybe with an embedded Excel spreadsheet so the math doesn't get screwed up. So those are the thoughts on the final takings clause and ways that we can make it a little bit easier for our clients to adopt and reflect what they actually want, to get unstuck with something that is honestly statistically almost impossible to happen. But it's good practice to do it. That's all I got for this week's interesting stories, tips, and tricks around trust drafting and administration. Ciao, folks.